Yesterday we completed, so that is some general properties of alkali metals, physical properties, some chemical properties. So yesterday already we started compounds of alkali metals. So hydrides is one of the compounds of alkali metals, which is also completed boys. So now remaining compounds of alkali metals, today here we are going to discuss. Okay, so now our topic is compounds of alkali metals. Compounds of alkali metals boys. So in this category, the first compounds are hydrides. So reaction with hydrogen, alkali metals gives respect to hydrides. Already we completed the topic at the time. We explained the reactivity with hydrogen. So already hydrides completed boys. Now next case, that is the second type of compounds. So what is that? Nitrides. Nitrides. What are these nitrides? Nitrides means nitrogen with 3 minus ion is called as nitride ion. Nitrogen with 3 minus, this ion is called as nitride ion. Nitride ion. For example, if 3 nitrogen has minus charge, 3 nitrogen has minus charge, this ion is called as azide ion. Azide ion. So that means if this is called available, those are called as azides. So that is nitrided. So our alkali metals, only lithium can directly react with nitrogen. Reaction with nitrogen already we completed it. So here, so lithium only directly reacts with nitrogen and form, that is a nitride. That is lithium nitride is the product. So what is that? So lithium reacts with nitrogen, that gives Li3n is the product. Li3n, 2 nitrogens, 2 times, so 6 Lin. So this is lithium nitride boys. So lithium is the only alkali metal which is directly react with nitrogen. Okay, but extraordinary conditions, so our alkali metals also reacts with other alkali metals, also react with nitrogen, but nitrogen is the, that is nitride is not the product. Nitride is not the product. So azides are the products. So it is with lithium. Other alkali metals, with nitrogen gives azides. Other alkali metals with nitrogen gives azides. See here, that is, and sodium reacts with hydrogen, that gives NaN3N. NaN3, that is sodium azide. So it is nitrogen, not H2, it is N2. NaN3 is the product. NaN3. See here, 2 nitrogens, it is 3, it is 2, it is 2. So that is, it is called as sodium azide boys. Sodium azide. It is lithium nitride. This is lithium nitride. So only lithium can give respect to nitrides. Other alkali metals gives respect to azides. So azide, what is that azide? N3 minus ion is called as azide boys. It's a Lewis dot structure. Nitrogen, nitrogen, nitrogen. 3 nitrogens. So Lewis dot structure. Nitrogen is the 15th group element, 5th A group element. 5 is the valency electrons. So 3 5 is 15. 15 plus 1. 1 electron is gained. 16. See here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 15, 16. So like this is minus boys. It is one of the Lewis dot structures for that azide ion. One of the Lewis dot structures for azide ion. Next. So this is in resonance with another that is N. So N, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is also another resonance structure of that nitride ion. Another resonance structure for that nitride ion. That is the Lewis dot structures, boys. Okay. So that is the ion available. So these are azide ions. Azide ions. Okay. So lithium directly reacts with sodium nitrogen, gives nitride. So but other alkali metals gives azide. Boys, this is the anomalous property of lithium. This is the anomalous property of lithium. Anomalous means special behavior. So at last we will discuss how lithium is differently behaves from rest of the alkali metals. So this is the different behavior. So lithium gives respect to nitride, but other alkali metals gives azides. So no doubt separate reaction. So please keep in mind. So lithium only gives respect to nitride. Lithium only gives respect to nitride. This is about nitrides. So alkali metal, in particular lithium, gives nitride. Other gives azides. Next type of compounds. Second class completed. Second one, that is the third one, which is oxides. At the time of reaction with oxygen, some concept is completed and remaining concept was oxides. Third one, oxides. What are these oxides? Binary compounds of alkali metals with oxygen are called as oxides. So only two types available. One is our alkali metal, and another one is oxide. Here our alkali metals gives so three different types of oxide, that is monoxides, peroxides, and superoxides. And see here, so O minus 2 monoxides, O2 minus 2 which is a peroxide, that is O2 minus 1 which is a superoxide. These are the three oxides, boys. Among these three oxides, the order of size of these ions is, that is O minus 2 less than, O minus 2 less than, O2 minus less than, O2 minus 2. So oxide size is less than that of, that is the superoxide, which is less than that of O2 minus. As negative charge increases, size also increases, boys. So that is the way. Okay. So it is single oxide, it is two oxides, it is two or three oxides. Oxide, superoxide, peroxide. These are the order of sizes of our oxides. See, boys, lithium. Lithium. In our alkali metals, which is the smallest element? No doubt that should be the lithium. So generally, which type of compounds are more stable? See here. So generally, small cation plus small anion, this combination is more stable. This combination is more stable. At the same time, big cation plus big anion, this combination is also stable. This combination is also stable. That means both the anion and cation are smaller ions, then the compound is stable. If both are bigger ions, that is also something stable one. So that is why. So lithium, our lithium is a smaller ion. So in these oxides, this is the smallest ion, boys. So that is why lithium can form only oxides. So lithium can form only oxide. So no peroxide, no superoxide is possible, because lithium oxide is the only stable one. So peroxide, superoxides are bigger size, more size ions. So those more size ions are not accommodated on lithium. So because of this reason, so lithium can form only monoxides, but not peroxides and superoxides. So let us examine one by one. See here. That is the structures of these oxides, peroxides, superoxides already covered, boys. So see here. So lithium can form monoxide, only monoxide. So sodium can form monoxide and sodium peroxide, but it is stable. So it is stable, boys. Potassium has potassium monoxide, potassium peroxide, potassium superoxide also possible, but it is stable, superoxide. Next, rubidium, Rb2O, Rb2O2, RbO2. It is stable. Cesium also, cesium oxide, cesium peroxide, cesium superoxide. This is more stable, boys. So lithium side, no peroxide, no superoxide. From lithium, no peroxide, no superoxide. So from sodium side, no superoxide, no superoxide. So these are the possibilities, boys. Why? Why lithium can form only oxides? But now why not peroxides and superoxides? See here, lithium Li plus, and O minus 2. So two lithium ions, these two have so small size, boys. These two are in small size. This is also small size. So that means that there is a strong attraction between these two ions. There is a strong attraction between these two ions. At the same time, because of small size, this negative charge on oxygen is strongly attracted by these two lithium ions because it has the greatest polarizing power. Small size ion has greatest polarizing power, boys. So because of that reason, these two oxygens, these two negative charge, -2 charge, is completely attracted by this lithium. So, and also this oxygen is not dispersed that -2 charge to other oxygen because of strong that is polarizing power of this lithium. Because of strong polarizing power of lithium, this -2 charge is not dispersed to other oxygen atoms. That is why only one oxygen can accommodate that -2 charge because of high polarizing power of these small size ions. Therefore, only lithium oxide is exists. But in peroxides, so two oxygens that is shares of negative charge peroxide -2 that is shared by two oxygen atom. So because of less polarizability, that is why as the size of the atom increases, polarizing power decreases. So automatically, so peroxides and superoxide formation increases. Peroxides and superoxide because those ions are bigger ions. So peroxides and superoxide formation increases. Therefore, from top to bottom, so stability of superoxides increases. Very, very important, boys. From top to bottom, stability of these superoxides increases. Next point. All these oxides are ionic in nature. All these oxides are ionic in nature. So that ionic nature increases from top to bottom. In a group from top to bottom, ionic nature increases. All these oxides are ionic, no doubt. That ionic nature from top to bottom increases. Next. So oxides are dissolved in water. Or oxides are dissolved in water. Already we know, boys. So their solubility from top to bottom increases. Their solubility from top to bottom increases. So no doubt all these oxides dissolved in water. So and solubility increases from top to bottom. Already we know that. So oxides gives respect to hydroxides. Peroxides gives hydroxides and hydrogen peroxides. Superoxides gives hydroxide, hydrogen peroxide, and also oxygen. Yesterday we completed that type of reaction. So see here what happened. Once again, I am recollecting the concepts. That is, when metal oxide dissolved in water gives metal hydroxide. This is alkali in nature, boys. This is alkali, water soluble. This is alkali. Okay, there is nothing but basic in nature. This basic nature from top to bottom increases. The basic nature of these hydroxides from top to bottom increases. Very, very important. That means lithium hydroxide is less basic and cesium hydroxide is more basic. Lithium hydroxide is less basic, cesium hydroxide is more basic. Next, already peroxides. What is that? That is metal peroxides. when reacts with water gives, that is metal hydroxide, and hydrogen peroxide is the product. Yesterday we completed, boys. Next, metal superoxides when reacts with water gives metal hydroxide, hydrogen peroxide, and oxygen gas is liberated. And oxygen gas is liberated. It is very, very important reaction, boys. So very, very important. Okay. So these are hydroxides. These are hydroxides. Okay. Next, peroxides. Next point, any peroxides and superoxides are good oxidizing agents, strong oxidizing agents, just like our H2O2, hydrogen peroxide is the good oxidizing agent. Like that, this sodium peroxide or sodium, that is potassium superoxide, all these oxides and peroxides and superoxides are strong oxidizing agents. Okay, now see here. Next, that is both peroxides and superoxides. Both peroxides and superoxides absorb carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide from atmosphere. From atmosphere, boys. So no doubt today, now onwards, nowadays, very high pollution in the environment is available. What is that pollution? There is more percentage of the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So to decrease the percentage of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, so these superoxides are the best use. That is, today we are using this superoxide to absorb that carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So that is the most important use of these superoxides. See here what happens. That is Na2O2, sodium peroxide. When it reacts with carbon monoxide, that is from atmosphere, that gives Na2CO3. Sodium carbonate is the product. Sodium carbonate. Similarly, that is Na2O2, sodium peroxide, when reacts with carbon dioxide, that gives Na2CO3 and liberates oxygen. That is a total 4. It is 1. So half O2. So here oxygen gas is liberated. That means the percentage of carbon dioxide decreases and percentage of oxygen increases in the nature. So most important application. Similarly, superoxides and that is KO2, when it reacts with carbon monoxide, KO2, that is K2CO3, potassium carbonate, and O2 gas is evolved. O2 gas is evolved. KO2, that is 2 times K2CO3, 4 plus 1, 5 oxygens, 3 plus 2. Okay, oxygen gas is evolved. Next, same type, KO2, when reacts with carbon dioxide, that gives K2CO3 plus, once again, oxygen gas is liberated. 4 plus 2, 6, 3 plus 2, 5, 3 plus 2, 5. That is already 3 completed. So 2, 4 plus 2, 6, 3 completed. It is a 3 by 2 O2. 3 by 2 O2. See, boys, superoxide combined with both carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide generates oxygen gas, liberates oxygen gas. That means the potassium superoxide decreases the pollution of our environment. At the same time, so percentage of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide decreases. At the same time, percentage of oxygen in the environment increases because of this reaction. So this is the very, very important reaction, boys, where it is. So this reaction is used in submarines under the sea. So there, so more number of people are there in submarines. So no way of free flowing of that air. So that is a carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide in that increases. So there potassium superoxide is used. Automatically the percentage of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide decreases and O2 increased. That O2 is helpful for respiration of the, so our soldiers or something else. And also at high altitudes, their percentage of oxygen is very, very less. So there also for generation of this oxygen, so this reaction is applicable. So very, very important to decrease the pollution and increase the percentage of oxygen in submarines or at high altitudes for respiration purpose. So this reaction is very, very important reaction. Very, very important reaction. So please keep in mind, yes. So that is both carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide generates oxygen. Oxygen gas is generated. Oxygen gas is released. Okay. Next, superoxides are also acts as good oxidizing agents. So see here, when potassium superoxide reacts with sulfur, that gives K2SO4, potassium sulfate. Here sulfur oxygen state 0 boys. Here sulfur oxygen state +6. So 0 to +6 increase. It is oxidized with the help of this one. This why that is why KO2 is the good oxidizing agent, strong oxidizing agent. Next, these superoxides are colored. Already we explained. These are colored. That is what is that color? Orange color. Orange colored and also paramagnetic because of presence of unpaired electrons. Because of presence of unpaired electron, so it is a paramagnetic and also orange colored. It is colored boys. So this is about oxides. Some of the properties already completed yesterday. So these are the important reactions towards these oxides. That is in particular superoxides and peroxides. Okay. So this is about oxides. All these oxides are ionic oxides. Next topic. That is next compounds. Hydroxides. That is next topic. That is fourth one. Hydroxides. Up to now, hydrides, nitrides, oxides are completed. These are the compounds. Now we are in hydroxides. Okay. So we are in hydroxides. So just a minute, boys. So hydroxides. Hydroxide means there is OH minus ion. So our metal has a +1 charge. Therefore, MOH is the general formula for our hydroxides. MOH is the general formula for hydroxides. So these are very, very important, boys. So now, so how these are prepared? Preparation properties, preparation methods. How to prepare these hydroxides? Those are basis, boys. Our metal oxide, no doubt it is metal oxide, boys. When this metal oxide dissolved in water, that gives respect to hydroxide. Our metal oxide reacts with water, that gives respect to hydroxide. So it is the way to prepare that hydroxides. So these hydroxides are alkali in nature. Alkali in nature. So basic nature from top to bottom increases, boys. Basic nature from top to bottom increases. So that means, therefore, order of basic nature is, that is lithium hydroxide. So lithium hydroxide less than sodium hydroxide, less than lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium. So, and cesium, lithium hydroxide. So this is the order of basic nature, boys. This is the order of basic nature. Next. So from top to bottom, this basic nature increases. Why, sir? Why this basic nature increases? Why this is the order? Why this is the order? Because here, let us take this is as M. MOH bond is there. MOH bond is there. So from top to bottom, size of M increases. From top to bottom, size of M increases. As the size of M increases, ionization energy decreases. That means easy to ionize it. At the same time, bond length, MO bond length increases. MO bond length increases, bond energy decreases. So from top to bottom, size increases, ionization energy decreases, MO bond length increases, bond energy decreases. That is means it is easy to break from top to bottom. Because this bond breaking, it gets minus charge, it gets positive charge. So therefore, from top to bottom, basic nature increases. From top to bottom, that basic nature increases because increase in size, decrease in bond energy. That is MO bond energy, top to bottom decreases because bond length increases. Because bond length increases. Okay. Next point, that is thermal stability of these hydroxides. Thermal stability of these hydroxides increases from top to bottom. And very, very important. Thermal hydroxide, thermal stability of these hydroxides and stability of these hydroxides also like this. That means lithium hydroxide is least stable and cesium hydroxide is more stable. So cesium because of sizes. At the same time, so thermal stability from top to bottom for these hydroxides increases. So see boys, what is that? Lithium hydroxide less stable. Because of its less stability, so it is dissociates into lithium oxide and H2O. So 2 times lithium oxide and H2O. That means hydroxide here is converted into respect to oxide. Hydroxide there converts into respect to oxide. It is the anomalous property of lithium, boys. Lithium hydroxide is unstable and break down into respect to oxide. But other hydroxides not convert into respect to oxides. So it is the special property for lithium and so other hydroxides do not decompose. Other hydroxides do not decompose, but they melt. So if temperature increases, it is not going to be decomposed. So automatically it is going to be melt. Solids are converted into liquids. That's enough. But decomposition not take place. But lithium hydroxide is easy to decompose into respect to oxide. It is the anomalous property of our lithium and so at last we will discuss anomalous properties of lithium because lithium differently behaves from rest of the same group elements. So those properties are called as anomalous properties. What are those? One of those properties is this. Okay. So listen here. Next. This is about hydroxides, boys. No doubt. MOH type. Top to bottom basic nature increases. Top to bottom stability increases. So next thermal stability, that is lithium hydroxide is very less stable. So that gives respect to oxide, but the other hydroxides not decompose. So instead of decomposing, they are going to be melted. That's enough. Next one. Halides, and it is the top most important topic, boys. Halides. Please write your running notes. That's enough. That's a very, very important. Halides. What are these halides? Our alkali metal with halogen elements. So that is halide ions. Those are called as our halide compounds. Here, our alkali metal is in positive oxygen state. Halogen has -1 oxygen state. By the combination of these two, MX type halides are formed. MX type halides are formed. It is a general formula for halides of alkali metals. So now, what is the preparation methods of these halides? Preparation methods. So boys, this is halogen compound. See here, already we know the preparation methods. So that is preparation methods. First one, our metal directly reacts with halogen. Our metal directly reacts with halogen. That gives 2 moles MX compound. 2 moles MX compound. Boys, it is exothermic reaction. Very huge amount of energy will be released. This is exothermic reaction, very huge amount of energy will be released. Please keep in mind those values we will use in. See boys, so this released energy is called as heat of formation of this halide. Am I correct or wrong? According to your thermodynamics, is this energy is considered as heat of formation of our HX? Am I correct or wrong? No, 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 no. Why not? Because it is 1 mole, it is 2 moles. We are taking for 1 mole. Yes, it is for 1 mole. So see here, I am taking, so M plus of X2 gives 1 mole mx. Now this is the released energy. Now this delta H I am considered as delta H formation. So heat of formation. This heat of formation is very, very important. That is the responsible for the stability of these halides. If this heat of formation is very, very high, that formed halide is very, very stable. That much energy is lost, that much energy is less for that halide. So very, very low amount of energy internally there. That's why it is more stable. It is more stable. Okay. So it is very, very important, boys. So very, very important. That is, so 1 mole compound is formed from its elements. 1 mole compound is formed from its elements. It is solid, it is gas. So from its standard state, that 1 mole compound is formed. That released energy is called as heat of formation. This heat of formation is responsible for the stability of these halides. Okay, that means stability, that is thermal stability, is directly proportional to delta H naught F, and that is negative values. Negative value means released energy. More amount of energy is released, more is the stability. More is the stability. So more negative, more stability. More negative, more stability. So that means it is very, very important. Later we will using this concept. Next, one more preparation method. Second point. Second preparation method, boys. That is our metal oxide when reacts with HX. Our metal oxide when reacts with HX, that gives metal halide plus H2O. For that it is. So metal halide, another preparation method. It is base, it is acid. Metal oxides are basic. This is acid. Acid plus base, salt and water is the productant. Acid plus base, salt and water. Next, similarly, our metal hydroxide reacts with HX, that gives metal halide and water. That is a simple example. Number of times we use this one. NaOH plus HCl. That gives NaCl plus H2O. It is the acid-base neutralization reaction, boys. So like this, metal hydroxide reacts with hydrohalous acid. That gives metal halide is the productant. Metal halide is the productant. Next, fourth one, metal carbonate. It is also basic in nature. So it reacts with halogen acids. That gives, so 2 times, that is 2mx plus H2O plus CO2 are the production. So metal halide is the productant. Metal halides. So these are the different methods to prepare metal halides. So that is a metal direct reaction. So next, that is direct reaction of metal with halogens and metal oxides with acids, metal hydroxide with acid, metal carbonate with acid, because all these are basic. All these are basic. Now this is the preparation method, boys. Now what about the stability of these halides? So total stability of these halides, M means alkali metal. No, alkali metal only. So here we are discussing only alkali metals. Here M is any alkali metal. No, don't go for other metals. M is only alkali metal. Don't use other metals, boys. So if other metals are there, I'm using that metal directly. Okay. So M is nothing but our alkali metal. So at anywhere. Okay. Now to explain the stability of these halides, we must use hydration energies. Now I'm using those hydration energies to explain the stability. Please note down those values are also, boys. So please note down those values are also. So to explain the thermal stability, I am using delta H naught F values. So see here. So please note down these values also. Lithium fluoride. I am taking one by one compounds are all. Lithium chloride, lithium bromide, lithium iodide. Similarly, next, please take a gap. So here values are I am using it. Sodium chloride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium iodide, potassium fluoride, potassium chloride, potassium bromide, potassium iodide, rubidium, RBF, RBCl, RBBr, RBI, cesium fluoride, cesium chloride, cesium bromide, cesium iodide, cesium iodide. These are the compounds, boys. These are the compounds. So let me explain. So please keep in mind. See, boys, all these are solid compounds. Ionic compounds, all these halides are solid state. White solids, mostly solid state. Okay, these solids, so cesium chloride, cesium bromide, cesium iodide, these are generally, it is BCC structure, body centered cubic. Already ionic compounds we explained that one. So this one, cesium bromide, also BCC structure, cesium iodide also almost BCC structure. So these are the structures of internal crystal structures of these halides, and remaining all halides are similar to NaCl, that is FCC structure. Remaining all halides similar to NaCl. NaCl has space-centered cubic structure, so that structure resembles for all other halides. So cesium chloride, cesium bromide, cesium iodide, these are all only basic, that is BCC structure, body-centered cubic. Okay, so keep in mind. Next, I'm using values, boys. See here. That is, I'm using delta H naught F values for all these alkali metals, metal halides. So it is minus 612, minus 612. It is minus 569. Boys, all are in kilojoule per mole. Kilojoule per mole. 569. Next, minus 563. Minus 563. Minus 549. Next, minus 531. So these are the delta H formation values. Next, second case, that is minus 398. Next, this one minus 350. This one minus 271. 27. No need of by heart these values, boys. But for our explanation, these are required. That's why I'm writing. I'm noting it. Next, for this 400, that is minus 360. For that one is minus 288. 288. Next, KCl value. So that is minus 428. Minus 392. Minus 328. 328. Next, RBCl. Its value 423 minus 389. Next, minus 329. Minus 329. Next, its value minus 424. Minus 395. Minus 337. 337, boys. Boys, these are all delta H naught F values. So please observe. More is the released energy, more is the stability of that particular halide. More is the stability of that particular halide. So see here, I'm explaining stability, boys. Stability. Stability. See here. Stability directly proportional to negative value of delta H naught F. Stability directly proportional to negative value of delta H naught F. See here. So 612, 569, the top to bottom, delta H naught value decreases. That means, so when we compare fluorides of all alkali metals from top to bottom, delta H naught F value decreases. See here, 612, 531 decreases, and therefore stability also decreases. Therefore stability also decreases in from top to bottom. So fluorides of alkali metals, all these are fluorides wise. So top to bottom, their heat of formation values decreases, their stability decreases. Therefore, order of stability of these fluorides is, so that is for fluorides, LiF is greater than that of NaF, greater than lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. This is for fluorides, boys. This is for fluorides. Okay. So in case of others, please observe here also. So boys, only I am considering lithium. 612, 398, 350, 371, 271. From left to right, in case of lithium only in case of lithium, we observe for same, here also the values gradually decreases. For any metal, for different halides, so from left to right, value decreases, their stability also decreases. Therefore, so stability decreases. So from left to right, their stability also decreases. So that is why I am using these values training. Otherwise, it is not possible to explain clearly. So heat of formation is responsible for stability. Next, in case of chlorides, bromides, iodides, so delta H naught F, please observe those values. Delta H naught F values increases from top to bottom. Mostly, not exactly, from top to bottom. Therefore, stability increases. Boys. Very, very important. Only for fluorides, this is the order any. For other halides, that is LiX is less stable than, that is NaX less stable than Kx, next Rbx, next CSX. Here X is equal to Cl minus Br minus I minus N, not F minus N. Cl minus Br minus I minus, not F minus. So this is the order of stability of these halides and these halides. So this is the stability order, boys. Next point. For any alkali metal, stability. See here, fluoride greater than, bromide greater than, iodide. Therefore, fluoride greater than, bromide greater than, iodide. So this is for any halide. So for any single metal is common, different halogens. So that is the order of stability. So please keep in mind, these are very, very important number of times asked bits, boys. Okay. So this is about the stability of our halides. Now we are discussing about melting and boiling points. So melting and boiling points of these halides. Let us observe one by one. So for halides, MP and BP values. Melting and boiling point of halides. Okay. So this was decided by by lattice energy. So melting and boiling points is clearly explained with the help of lattice energy. With the help of lattice energy. Okay. See boys, lattice energy is directly proportional to product of the charges on the ions and inversely proportional to sum of radius of cation and radius of anion. Please keep in mind, small is the size, more is the lattice energy. More is the charge, more is the lattice energy. So lattice energy directly proportional to melting and boiling point. That explains the stability strength of ionic bonds. More is the strength, more is the melting and boiling point. More is the melting and boiling point. So generally boys, so lithium halides. Lithium halides. What are those lithium halides? Lithium fluorides, lithium bromides, lithium chlorides, lithium bromides, lithium iodides. Lithium fluoride is ionic. Lithium fluoride is only ionic nature. So, but other halides, remaining 3 halides of lithium are covalent. These are all covalent. Because these are covalent, these have low MP and BP values. Because covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points, ionic compounds have more melting and boiling points. Ionic compounds have more melting and boiling points. Covalent compounds have low melting and boiling point. That is why chlorides, bromides, iodides have covalent nature. Because of covalent nature, so these 3 compounds are generally have low melting and boiling point, but lithium fluoride has more melting points in case of lithium compounds. So lithium compounds. Now let us observe one by one by using some values. That is, once again, I am drawing. So melting point boys, melting point value and melting point value for metal fluorides. For metal fluorides. Next, similarly, melting point value for metal chlorides. I am using the values, boys. I am using the values. See here, for lithium, the melting point value is lithium fluoride. It is lithium fluoride. That is 1116. For lithium chloride, it is 883. 883. Kelvin scale. Degrees Kelvin. Kelvin values. It is the melting point values. Lithium. Next, sodium. Sodium. So this sodium 1268 Kelvin. That is 1080. 1081 Kelvin. 1081 Kelvin. Next, sodium. Potassium. For fluorine, KF 1129 Kelvin. Next, 1045 Kelvin. 1045 Kelvin. Next, rubidium. So for rubidium 1048 Kelvin, that is 990 Kelvin. 990 Kelvin. Cesium. For cesium, it is 955 Kelvin and it is 918 Kelvin. So 918 Kelvin. So see boys, it is for fluorides, it is for other halides. It is for other halides. It is for fluorides. For fluorides, top to bottom. For fluorides, top to bottom. See, observe. So lithium fluoride has more melting point. Lithium fluorides. So what is the order? What is the order? So lithium fluorides. So order is lithium fluorides, not lithium. It is sodium, boys. Please, based on values, right? It is not possible to explain actually. That is, sodium fluoride has more melting point. Sodium fluoride greater than. Next, potassium fluoride greater than. Lithium fluoride greater than. Rubidium fluoride greater than. Cesium fluoride. It is for fluorides, boys. It is for fluorides. So for other halides, so that is for other halides, highest for sodium halide. NaX greater than next Kx greater than, next Rbx greater than, next Csx greater than Lix and Lix. So this is the order of other halides melting points. So similarly, boiling points are also. So similar way, boys, it is very, very important. It is very, very important. For other halides, MP order is, MP and PP order is. So sodium halide having more melting and boiling points. So lithium halides, already I explained, boys, because these are covalent, these have less boiling points, melting and boiling points. Because of that reason, lithium fluoride. But it is ionic, that's why this is the order in case of fluorides. It is the order in case of fluorides. Okay, next one. For same alkali metal, MP order is fluoride greater than, chloride greater than, bromide greater than, iodide. So MP and BP order is fluoride greater than, chloride greater than, bromide greater than, iodide for any halide, So all these are explained on the basis of lattice energy. So more is the lattice energy, more is the strength of ionic bond, more is the strength of ionic bond, more melting and boiling points. So top to bottom sizes increases, lattice energy decreases. So lattice energy decreases. So but because of some reasons, these are the values and these are the values. So it is all totally explained on the basis of lattice energy concept. Lattice energy concept. So for if you want more explanation, please go and see Ramarao sir book. Ramarao sir book, line to line. Please try to read the concept. It is very, very important. Okay. So this is the stability, that is melting and boiling points of halides. Next concept, and that is solubility of these halides. Solubility of these halides. Solubility of halides. So it is based on lattice energy and hydration energy. This concept is explanation based on lattice energy and hydration energy. So concept is totally explained on the basis of lattice energy and hydration energy. So what is that lattice energy, hydration energy? See, boys, lattice energy, already I wrote it. That is, lattice energy is directly proportional to 1 by radius of cation plus radius of anion. As the size increases, sum of the radius of cation and anion increases, lattice energy decreases. It is inversely proportional. It is the sum of radius of cation and anion. It is lattice energy, boys. Already we know, yesterday we completed hydration energy. That hydration energy is inversely proportional to, that is proportional to 1 by radius of cation plus 1 by radius of anion. So the boys, a lot of difference between these two. Please observe. It is 1 by individuality. Hydration energy is inversely proportional to 1 by radius of cation plus 1 by radius of anion. But it is the sum of radius of cation and anion. So that is why. So there is a difference is there. So no doubt. So both these are inversely proportional to sizes. Both these are inversely proportional to sizes. Okay. As the size increases, both these lattice energy and hydration energy decreases. As the size increases, both lattice energy and hydration energy decreases. Both lattice energy and hydration energy decreases, but unequally. Because of this difference. So both are decreased, but unequally decreased at the bottom. So maybe one has more value, another has lesser value, depending on that one. Hydration energy and lattice energy comparison. So those having, if hydration energy greater than lattice energy, if hydration energy greater than lattice energy, the compound is not only halides, anyone. Compound is soluble in water. If hydration energy greater than lattice energy, then only the compound is soluble in water. Otherwise, not soluble in water. Not soluble in water. That means solubility of compounds is explained on the basis of lattice energy and hydration. Lattice energy brings the molecules together and so strong attraction. So because of that, solubility is not possible. Hydration energy try to break these ions and so breaking gives more solubility. Breaking gives more solubility. Because of this reason, if hydration energy is greater than lattice energy, automatically the compound is soluble in water. And compound is soluble in water. See here what happens. Let us observe some compounds. That is, so I'm once again writing the compounds, boys, halide compounds. Lithium fluoride. Lithium, that is lithium chloride, lithium bromide, lithium iodide. Next, lithium, sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium iodide, potassium fluoride, potassium chloride, potassium bromide, potassium iodide, rubidium fluoride, rubidium chloride, rubidium bromide, rubidium iodide, and last, cesium fluoride, cesium fluoride, cesium chloride, cesium bromide, and cesium iodide. And cesium iodide. These are the compounds, boys. So please observe according to lattice energy and hydration energy. According to lattice energy and hydration energy. See here. So top to bottom, in case of fluorides of our alkali metals, applicable only for fluorides. Only for fluorides. So solubility increases from top to bottom for fluorides. For fluorides, solubility top to bottom increases. Okay. So next one. For other halides, top to bottom, from top to bottom, solubility decreases. So here for fluorides, solubility increases. For other halides, solubility decreases. Next, in case of lithium halides, from left to right, solubility increases for lithium halides. And for lithium halides, solubility increases. For other halides, okay, so our MX type, for other halides, so solubility decreases. From left to right, solubility decreases. Here also, from left to right, solubility increases. That means lithium fluoride has less solubility and lithium iodide has more solubility. Lithium fluoride has less solubility, lithium iodide has more solubility. So like this, please keep in mind, it is the shortest way to remember. Madhu, please wait, I will explain at last. Please wait. Please down your hands. Thank you. Okay, so totally we will explain as per hydration energy and lattice energy. It is difficult to memorize those hydration energy and lattice energy values. That's why. So finally, this is the shortcut way to memorize the values. So which is more, which is less. Which is more, which is less. Okay. Next point. That is, see boys, these highlights, note points. So when potassium iodide reacts with other halogen, so our halide reacts with halogen, that gives Ki3 type compounds. Ki3 type compounds. What is this Ki3? Which is called as potassium polyhalide. That is polyiodide. Nothing but triiodide. More halides are there. So that means when our halogen compounds, we combine with other halogens to form polyhalides. So not only with halogen, interhalogen compounds, some other interhalogen, ICl3, IF7, like interhalogen compounds are there. So when these halides reacts with other halogens or interhalogens, gives polyhalides of the type like this. Ki3. So here it is ionic compound wise. Here K plus ion, I3 minus ion. I3 minus ion. We know I3 minus ion stable. This I3 minus ion, I'm right now, I3 minus ion, which is called as triiodide ion. It is represented as I2 minus. I2 minus. So here central atom iodine. So the central iodine is in sp3 dehybridation and it has linear shape. I3 minus ion has linear shape. Already we explained at the time of chemical bonding. So chemical bonding, hybridation condition, I3 minus ion, polyhalide ion, polyiodide ion. We observe that it has sp3 hybridation and linear shape. That this type of compounds may also be possible. So this is about your halide compounds. This is about your halide compounds. So please keep in mind, boys, all these are very, very important. All these are very, very important. Okay. Next type of compounds. Next type, that is oxosalts. 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 What are these oxosalts? That means salts containing oxygen atom. Salts containing oxygen. Let us see boys. HCl. Let us observe this HCl. It is acid. Acid. But there is no oxygen. There is no oxygen. That is what it is. Hydracid. It is hydracid without oxygen. H2S. No oxygen. Hydracid. Next. HBr. No oxygen. HI. No oxygen. All these are hydrogen containing acids. Only hydrogen containing acids. These are called as hydracids. But so observe here. HNO3. It is acid, but it contains oxygen. This is called as oxoacid. So oxoacid. Okay. So yes, no oxygen here in all these, no oxygen. So that is why these are hydroacids. But here HNO3, it is oxoacid. Oxoacid. That means here hydrogen connected with oxygen. Hydrogen connected with oxygen. See here the observation. The structure of this one is N double bond O, Day2 bond O, OH. Here is the hydrogen connected with oxygen. So this hydrogen released as H plus. This released as H plus N. See here, please wait. I will explain why this concept is used here. So it is hydroacid. So hydrogen connected with oxygen. Hydroacid, oxoacid. H2SO4. H2SO4. So for this H2SO4, sulfur double bond O, OH, OH and OH. So here also oxide hydrogen connected with oxide. It is also oxoacid. Next, H3PO4, phosphoric acid. Here also for P double bond O, OH, OHN. Here also hydrogen connected with oxygen. It is also oxoacid. Boys, in our daily life, different acids are there. So some of them are hydroacids and some are oxoacids. So these are the salts from these oxoacids, but not from these hydroacids. So these are the oxo salts means. So those are the salts from oxoacids. For explaining that one, I am introducing these oxoacids. So that's why I am explaining this oxoacids. See here. If this one reacts with NaOH, this hydrogen and this OH is going out. This hydrogen is replaced with that sodium. That is Na plus O minus S double bond O OH. It is a salt. When acid reacts with base, but containing oxygen, oxosalt, NaHCl. So if it further reacts with NaOH, so this hydrogen also replaced, that is S double bond O minus Na plus. Here also O minus Na plus are the formed. This is nothing but Na2SO4, sodium sulfate. This is nothing but NaHSO4, sodium bisulfate. These sodium sulfate and this sodium bisulfate are nothing but oxosalts. So now our topic is that oxosalts. So in our syllabus, these oxosalts, so carbonates and bicarbonates, nitrites and nitrates, and sulfates. So these are the compounds available, boys. So let us discuss one by one. Okay. So these are oxosalts. So like this, the different compounds of our alkali metals are possible. So all these are important concepts, boys, in your alkali metals. One by one, slowly I am explaining. Please read in your materials also. So most of the reactions covered, but not all reactions. Most of the reactions are covered, but not all reactions. Please. Okay. First here, oxosalts, the first category any carbonates and bicarbonates. Carbonates and bicarbonates. What are these carbonates and bicarbonates? Carbonates means CO3 2 minus ion. It is carbonate ion. So our metal has +1 based on these two. That is M2CO3 is the general formula for carbonates. For carbonates, general formula is M2CO3. For bicarbonates, our metal has +1. Bicarbonate HCO3 minus. So based on these two combinations, that is MHCO3 is the bicarbonate. So this is bicarbonate. So that means the general formula for alkali metal carbonates and bicarbonates are M2CO3 and MHCO3. M2CO3 and MHCO3. Okay. See, boys, here these bicarbonates are solids except lithium bicarbonate. It is the exceptional case, boys. Anomalous property. Please keep in mind. So lithium bicarbonate is not solid, which is liquid. So at room temperature, all bicarbonates are solids for our alkali metals. But lithium bicarbonate is only liquid. It is a special property for lithium, anomalous property of lithium. Anomalous property of lithium. Now, how to prepare these carbonates and bicarbonates? Now, preparation. So preparation, because these are carbonates, see here. So our metal oxide, when reacts with carbon dioxide, our metal oxide, alkali metal oxide, reacts with carbon dioxide, that gives M2CO3, metal carbonate. It is the first preparation method. So oxide reacts with carbon dioxide. Next, hydroxide, metal hydroxide, MOH, reacts with carbon dioxide because it is base, it is acid. Acid plus base combination salt, that is M2CO3 plus H2O is the productant. M2CO3, that is a 2, M2CO3 plus H2O. So it is the carbonate preparation, boys. It is the carbonate. Very, very important. See here. If this CO2 is passed in excess, if excess CO2 is passed, automatically this formed bicarbonate in the presence of that water, that with that excess CO2 converts into respective bicarbonate. So see here, it is 2 times. So carbonate reacts with water and carbon dioxide, that gives metal bicarbonate is formed. Metal bicarbonate is formed. Okay. So up to this carbonate. So if excess CO2 is passed, that is bicarbonated. So please keep in mind, it is important. Next, this bicarbonate, metal bicarbonate, on heating, this formed metal bicarbonate, if it is heated, that is decomposed to M2CO3 and H2O and CO2. Exactly reverse reaction possible. So that is decomposed on heating. Bicarbonates on heating gives M2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. It is for other carbonates. Lithium carbonate doesn't give this kind of reaction. It doesn't reaction. Okay. So lithium bicarbonate, let us observe. Lithium bicarbonate may also give respect to carbonate. Okay, it is also possible. Lithium bicarbonate. So that is, see here. Lithium bicarbonate, if it is also heated, that gives Li2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2 possible, boys. It is the way to prepare. It is the way to prepare lithium carbonate. So, but this lithium carbonate is unstable. So it is converted into Li2O and CO2. So finally, lithium oxide is the final product. Lithium carbonate is unstable. So let us explain one by one. See here. Thermal stability, it is the preparation of our carbonates, boys, carbonates and bicarbonates. Now, stability of these carbonates and bicarbonates. Thermal stability of both carbonates and bicarbonates. Thermal stability of both carbonates and bicarbonates increases from top to bottom. See, boys, lithium ra small size iron, carbonate ra big size iron. It is big, it is small ending. That is why it is unstable. So, but cesium ra, cesium plus CO3 2 minus. It is a big size ion, boys. It is also big size ion. Because of this is stable. So that is why from top to bottom, that carbonates stability from top to bottom increases, and also bicarbonates Therefore, the order of stability is that is order of stability, that is Li2CO3 less than, that is Na2CO3 less than sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium. So similarly, bicarbonates, LiHCO3 less than NaHCO3 less than KHCO3 less than RbHCO3 less than CsHCO3. This is the order of stability of these bicarbonates and carbonates. So these bicarbonates and carbonates. Okay. So next, all bicarbonates on heating decomposed to respective carbonates. So decomposed to respective carbonates. So that is already we explained, boys. That is NaHCO3 on heating gives Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2. So respect to carbonate. Next, lithium bicarbonate LiHCO3 not in solid stage. It is not possible to prepare in solid state. It exists only in liquid state. It exists only in liquid stage. Okay. Next, solubility. What about the solubility of these bicarbonates? So let us observe that one. So sodium bicarbonate, let us observe that one. Sodium bicarbonate. Please note down these structures also. That is NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate. It has polymeric chain structure. So less soluble in water. So it is less soluble in water, and because of this. So because of this concept, so that next one. So sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate is prepared in ammonia solvay process. So it is the main principle involved in that ammonia soda process. So it is the basis. It is the basis for ammonia soda process. Nothing but Solvay process. So Solvay process. So later we will discuss in the proper process. I'm not explaining here. Okay. Now what is the structure? See here. So NaHCO3 structure is like this. So that is carbon ONA. It is double bond OH. So NaHCO3. NaHCO3. It is the structure. Next, one more end. Carbon double bond O. It is, so just a minute. Carbon ONA. It is OH. It is double bond one. Second molecule. Next, carbon ONA. Double bond OH. So third molecule, like this, another molecule, that is seed ONA. Next, it is OH. It is double bond 1. So these are all sodium bicarbonate molecules, boys. Between these sodium bicarbonate molecules, there is intermolecular hydrogen bond. See here, it is the hydrogen connected with high electron element, and it is the high electron element, boys. Between these two, intermolecular hydrogen bonding is formed. Here also with other molecules. Next, between these two, next molecule. So what are all these? This is nothing but intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of formation of this intermolecular hydrogen bonding, this NaHCO3 has polymeric structure. Number of molecules are going to be polymerized. Polymeric structure and less soluble in water. So in case of potassium bicarbonate, so that is, please observe that one, KHCO3. If potassium bicarbonate is there, it has a dimer structure and only 2 molecules are associated. So here many molecules are associated. Here only 2 molecules are associated. So it is more soluble in water. So it is more soluble in water. So what is the reaction here? What is the structure? That is carbon, O minus ion, K plus ion, C double bond O, OH. It is KHCO3 and KHCO3. One more, carbon, O minus, K plus ion. Next, double bond O, OH. Another molecule. So between these two also, here is intermolecular hydrogen bonding possible. It is intermolecular hydrogen bonding possible. So this intermolecular hydrogen bonding, so only 2 molecules are associated, boys, because of more size of this potassium. So only 2 molecules are associated. Because of this, it is a more soluble. Solubility from top to bottom increases. Solubility of these bicarbonates from top to bottom increases. Sodium bicarbonate is almost very, very less soluble, and potassium bicarbonate is more soluble. These are very, very important concepts, boys. So sodium bicarbonate has a polymeric chain structure and less soluble in water. KHCO3 is a dimer structure and more soluble in water. Next, what is the nature of aqueous solutions of these sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate? That is, see here, Na2CO3. If this Na2CO3 dissolved in water, that gives 2 Na plus ions and CO3 minus 2 ions. So no H plus, no minus N. It is neutral salt. For example, NaHCO3 is there. If it is dissolved in water, that gives Na plus ion, H plus ion, and CO3 minus 2 ion. That means H plus ion is coming out. Therefore, it is acidic salt. Na2CO3 is neutral salt. NaHCO3 is acidic salt. But the aqueous solution of Na2CO3 and NaHCO3 are in alkali in nature. Due to anionic hydrolysis. The aqueous solution of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate are in alkaline in nature. So this concept already explained in case of hydrolysis of salts, that too in ionic compounds. Yes, Na2CO3, don't discuss. I will explain, please wait. Okay, so very, very important, boys. That is Na2CO3 and NaHCO3. So aqueous solutions, aqueous, when it is dissolved in water, their aqueous solutions are alkaline in nature. So that is nothing but, boys, it is dissolved condition, not heated condition. So see boys, Na2CO3 on heating, no reaction. Na2CO3 on heating, it is not decomposed, but it is dissolved in water. It is dissolved in water. That is why it is possible. Okay, next, at the same time, NaHCO3 on heating converts into Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. That means the bicarbonates are converted into carbonates during heating. So that's why when a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate is heated, only bicarbonate is involved in the reaction, but not sodium carbonate. This is the concept used in your stoichiometry problems and heating conditions problems. Okay, so bicarbonate is dissolved, break down into compounds, but not sodium carbonate. That is thermal decomposition. Na2CO3 very stable, very stable. Okay, so the aqueous solution of Na2CO3 and NaHCO3 are alkaline solutions. See here, see boys, Na2CO3, it contains Na plus N. We observe this is from like NaOH. NaOH is a strong base, boys. Therefore, Na plus N is weak conjugate counterpart. CO3 2 minus ra. We observe this is from H2CO3 ra. H2CO3 is weak acid ra. Therefore, CO3 minus 2 ion is strong end. Therefore, in Na2CO3, CO3 minus 2 ion is strong. That is involved in the reaction with water. With water, that is, what is this? Anion. This anion reacts with water from Na2CO3. That gives H2CO3 plus OH minus N. That is a free OH minus N are there. Therefore, solution is alkaline in nature. So, solution is alkaline in nature. That is why it is anionic hydrolysis. Already we completed in salt hydrolysis ending. So, next, similarly, in case of NaHCO3, so this is bicarbonate. I am taking this one as HCO3 minus and HCO3 minus. So, that HCO3 minus ion reacts with water. Once again, this anion ending. Reacts with water gives H2CO3 plus OH minus. It is also alkaline in nature and it is also anionic hydrolysis. That means aqueous solutions of carbonate, sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate both are in alkaline nature because of anionic hydrolysis. So it is, we explained already in our ionic equilibrium. Ionic equilibrium, there we observed it. Okay, so next, this NaHCO3 is acidic salt. It is considered as a neutral salt, neutral salt. So finally, both sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate are basic in nature. Basic in nature. Okay, next, this sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, these two are distinguished. So separated, identified which is carbonate and which is bicarbonate. This is with phenolphthalein ending. So phenolphthalein is the indicator used to distinguish both carbonate and bicarbonate. Phenolphthalein gives the reaction with the sodium carbonate, but not with bicarbonate. Already at the time of titrations, double indicator titrations, so methyl orange and phenolphthalein indicators are used. So phenolphthalein gives only Na2CO3 converts into NaHCO3. Only up to formation of that bicarbonate, only reaction is explained. So next reaction is not possible with this phenolphthalein. That means, so that is if it is Na2CO3, so that reaction, half of the reaction is estimated with the help of phenolphthalein. But sodium bicarbonate is not estimated with the help of this phenolphthalein. It is not identified. So that is why, so sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate are distinguished with the help of phenolphthalein. If it is carbonates, so colorless changes to pink color. But it is a bicarbonate, no reaction takes place. So this is the way to identify carbonates and bicarbonates. So it is a concept about the carbonates and bicarbonates. Okay. Next topic, next salt of next oxo salts, that is remaining are small one, no problem, easy to complete. That is nitrates and nitrites. Next compounds, that is B. Nitrates, that is NO3 minus ions, and nitrites, that is NO2 minus ions. Nitrites and nitrates. So our metal is in +1, NO3 -1. Therefore, MnO3 is the general formula for nitrates, and MnO2 is the general formula for nitrites. So these are the general formula for nitrates and nitrites. Nitrates and nitrates. Now, how to prepare? So very, very important. So that is when metal hydroxides reacts with HNO3, that gives this OH and H is going out. That is metal nitrate and water. Metal nitrate and water. So next, similarly, metal carbonate when reacts with HNO3, that gives metal nitrate plus CO2 plus H2O. Metal nitrate plus CO2 plus H. Boys, I am using unbalanced equations. Please try to balance. Please try to balance in your notes. I am using unbalanced equations. Okay. So this is the way to prepare nitrates. This is nitrate. This is nitrated. Okay. Next, all nitrates are soluble in water. All nitrates are soluble in water, and solubility decreases down the group. So top to bottom, solubility decreases. Solubility decreases down the group, and thermal stability increases down the group. Thermal stability increases down the group. Next, see boys. So that means lithium nitrate is very, very unstable. Lithium nitrate is very, very unstable. That means that is LiNO3 stability order is less stable than NaNO3, less than KNO3, less than RbNO3, less than CsNO3. This is the order of stability. Lithium nitrate is unstable, boys. Once again, it is anomalous property. Lithium nitrate is unstable. It is decomposed as see here, our lithium nitrate, LiNO3. It is decomposed into lithium oxide because it is more stable. Lithium oxide and NO2 plus O2. Lithium oxide, NO2 plus O2. So it is 4 LiNO3, 2, 4. 2, 4. It is the balance equation, boys. Very, very important. When lithium nitrate on decomposition itself decomposed into lithium oxide, it is more stable, it is less stable. It is bigger ion, it is smaller ion. Small ion. Combination is more stable. The released gas is oxygen gas. This NO2 has brown color. Brown color gas. NO2 has brown color gas, boys. A brown colored gas is released. And O2 gas, that O2 has paramagnetic nature. That O2 has paramagnetic nature. Next, if NaNO3, it is lithium nitrate. Lithium nitrate on decomposition like this. If NaNO3 is heated, it is going to be decomposed. So it is at about 500 degrees. That is NaNO2 plus O2 gas is liberated. Boys, lithium nitrate on decomposition gives lithium oxide. But other nitrates on decomposition gives, it is a nitrate, it is a nitrite ending. So nitrate is converted into nitrite and evolution of oxygen gas. Any other nitrates on heating gives nitrites, but it is oxide. But that is oxide. Here it is oxide, it is nitrite. Very, very, it is the distinguished point between lithium to other rest of the elements. That means it is also the anomalous property of lithium. Anomalous property of lithium. So if the same chemical NaNO3 is heated up to 1000 degrees centigrade, that is 800 degrees centigrade, not up to 1000, it is required sufficient, or 800 degrees centigrade, that converts into Na2O plus N2 gas and O2 gas. So N2 gas and O2 gas. Boys, this reaction is very, very important. Lithium nitrate gives oxides, other nitrates gives nitrites. Other nitrates gives nitrites. So it is exceptional case. It is exceptional case. Okay. Next, these lithium nitrates, how to prepare these compounds? See here. Nitrites preparation. Nitrites preparation. That is, if NaNO3 reacts with carbon, that gives one of the oxygens combined with this one, converts into NaNO2 plus carbon monoxide. If it reacts with zinc, that gives NaNO2 plus ZnO, zinc oxide. If it reacts with lead, that gives NaNO2 plus Pb1, lead oxide. So like this, our nitrates are prepared. Nitrites, ITEN. Nitrates are prepared. Okay. Next, nitrites. Some properties about these nitrites. Nitrates on heating gives nitrites. Now these nitrites on heating gives so when nitrites NaNO2, it is sodium nitrite and IT, reacts with acids just like HCl. So that is a dilute HCl, that gives NaCl say plus NO2 gas, and it is important. A brown colored gas is released. Brown colored gas is released. NaCl plus NO2 plus NO plus H2O are the products. That means when sodium nitrate on reaction with dilute acids, a brown colored gas is released. It is the test for nitrites, IT, that formed NO. Once again reacts with atmosphere of oxygen, converts into NO2. Finally, it is also brown color. Okay, so that is why. So brown colored gas and sodium nitrate reacts with dilute acids, that releases brown colored gas. Brown colored gas, nitrites, and it is the distinguished test. This is the distinguished test between nitrate and nitrite. It is the distinguished test between nitrate and nitrate. Nitrite on reaction with dilute acids gives brown color, but not nitrates with dilute acids. Next and very, very important. So thermal decomposition, very, very, very important. Decomposition of nitrites. Decomposition of nitrites is a disproportionation reaction. So decomposition of nitrites is an example to a disproportionation reaction. What is disproportionation? Single element, same element involved in both oxidation and reduction. So that type of reaction is possible. See here. So that is 5 NaNO2 nitrites on heating gives 3 NaNO3 plus N2 plus Na2O. So this is the decomposition reaction, boys. Here nitrogen is in +3 oxidation state. Here nitrogen is in +5 oxidation state. Here nitrogen is 0. So from here to here oxidation, from here to here reduction. So only nitrogen involved in both oxidation and reduction. Therefore, it is an example to a disproportionation reaction. This is an example to a disproportionation reaction. So this is about your nitrates and nitrites, boys. So what is the distinguish between nitrate and nitrites? That is reaction with dilute acids. Nitrites gives brown color, but not nitrates. ATE not gives brown color. So nitrite gives brown color. Nitrites give brown color. And last compound, boys, that is sulfates and sulfates. Last compound, last oxo acids, salt of oxo acids, that is sulfates and that is better. Our metal is in +1. Sulfate means SO4 -2. That implies M2SO4 is the component. It is the general formula for our sulfates. M2SO4 is the formula, general formula for sulfates. Okay. Now, what are the preparation methods? Preparation methods. So our sulfates, metal oxide base, if it reacts with H2SO4, acid plus base reaction gives salt and that gives M2SO4 plus H2O. M2SO4 plus H2O. Similarly, metal hydroxide reacts with H2SO4 gives M2SO4 plus H2O. M2SO4 plus H2O. Similarly, carbonate, it is also base ending. This one reacts with acid H2SO4. That gives M2SO4 plus H2O plus CO2 are the products. H2O and CO2 are the products. This is the way to prepare respect to sulfates. Corresponding oxides, corresponding hydroxides and carbonates when reacts with H2SO4 gives corresponding sulfates. Gives corresponding sulfates. Next, exceptional case. Li2SO4, lithium sulfate, insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. But other sulfates are soluble in water. Other sulfates are soluble in water. So it is anomalous property, boys. Lithium sulfate is insoluble, but other sulfates are soluble. Anomalous properties. Next, one more anomalous property, that is lithium sulfate cannot form alum. Generally, alum stones are generally used in water purifiers, and blood clotting, to arrest the bleeding of blood. So alum is used. So that is one of the types of double salts. Any types of double salts. So potassium sulfate cannot form that type of alum, but other sulfates can form alum. See here example. So that is K2SO4, Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. So 24H2O. This is potash element. Here K2SO4 involved. Next, Na2SO4 sodium sulfate, Cr2SO4 thrice chromium sulfate, combination 24H2O. It is sodium sulfate involved in alum making. That means potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate are generally for alums. Alum, a double salt. Alum is a double salt. So that double salt formation with K2SO4 and Na2SO4 is possible, but not with lithium sulfate. Why not, sir? Because lithium is in small size. Because of small size of lithium, lithium cannot form alums. Lithium cannot form alums. Okay. Next one. So these sulfates, see here. What is that? So when metal sulfate reacts with carbon, property, M2SO4 reacts with carbon, converts into M2S sulfide, and carbon converted into carbon monoxide. Carbon converted into carbon monoxide. Here sulfur is in +6 boys. Here sulfur is in -2. So respect to sulfide is the productant. Sulfide is the product. Sulfate then change it to sulfide. Oxidation state decrease. It is reduced. Acts as oxidizing agent. Itself reduced, acts as oxidizing agent. That's why carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide. Carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide. So like this, different chemical compounds. Okay. So right now, these are the end of our compounds of alkali metals. Compounds of alkali metals. Tomorrow we will discuss, that is anomalous properties of lithium and also diagonal relationship of lithium with magnesium. So what are the general properties, coincidence, all those tomorrow we will discuss. Okay, boys.